Hey everyone, my name is Taylor Pence and this is my informative speech. So today the topic I decided to discuss was the difference between male and female communication. And the reason why this topic is so interesting to me is because it's intriguing to really sit down and think about how different men and women really do interact with one another. I know from my own personal experiences, I'll be talking to my dad or Micah, my boyfriend, or one of my guy friends, and I'll be telling them about my day or something that went wrong. And they might be listening to me, but they're not really listening. They'll be watching the game and they'll reply, whenever I say something. And I'm always like, are you even listening to me? And I think they're so rude, but after I think about it, they're not really being rude or they're not trying to be. They're just dudes. It's what they do. And a lot of the time, my dad or Micah or whoever will get on me for just talking too much. And I think that's rude too, but it's just because I'm a female, I guess. So we're going to first start talking about what communication generally is. So we can define communication by the interaction with one another. Communication is a form of self-expression, and it can be either verbal or nonverbal. So it's very important to understand the differences in communication of both genders because it influences everyday social interaction or even a workplace setting. Research shows that one's communication techniques is influenced by the comfortability of their environment. Extroverts are more comfortable speaking in crowds or communicating with the opposite sex, while other people that may be more reserved, more shy, aren't really comfortable with talking to big groups of people or going up to the person they like and starting a conversation with them. So I wanted to share a few quotes before we started to talk about the differences between how men and women interact. One quote I found was, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Another quote is, a quiet man is a thinking man. A quiet woman is usually mad. And I thought that was really funny and true. And then another quote by Bill Cosby says, men and women belong to different species, and communication between them is a science still in its infancy. So how do women communicate? From my experience, women are more expressed and prompted to talk more than men. Men, on the other hand, often use their body language to communicate with others. This body language often starts conflict with a woman because usually men act uninterested in the conversation or annoyed by what's being said because the woman's just rambling on and on. I don't want to stand here and say all men and women communicate a certain way because that would be rather stereotypical of me. I'm just going to talk about what I researched and what I see in everyday life. And hopefully you all like what I have to say. So, as I said before, a lot of the time many men believe that women just talk too much. Like they won't ever quit talking. While women often think that men don't talk enough. And this can interfere with their relationships, whether they're intimate or occupational. So it's important to understand how the other gender communicates and kind of like, I don't know how to say it, be more understanding. Compromise and communication in relationships is obviously crucial. So, other differences between how men and women communicate. Society believes that it's perceived that men use more vulgar language than women. They're more direct or aggressive with solving problems or arguments, and they're more confronting. While women like to focus on how they're feeling but aren't open to conflict because they're afraid of getting their feelings hurt. As we continue to discuss the differences between male and female communication, and I just list how males interact with women and how females interact with men, I've came to the conclusion that both women and men complete each other in the areas they lack. What I mean by this is where a woman talks too much, a man doesn't talk enough, and they kind of balance each other out. I really do believe that there are some similarities between genders and how they communicate, but it really just varies on their identity and how they have been raised to interact with others. So wherever we go around the world, communication varies. So you aren't going to see the same communication trends here as you are in various other places of the world. So I hope you really enjoyed watching this video and understand a little more about how men and women communicate. Thank you.